Oh, Roll20 has to be up too.
I'm Arthur Perkins. This is Apgamingreal. I'm joined once again by 4 artists who, just before the stream started, were doing some intense talk about tablets and dots and shit. I was completely lost. I felt totally out of the conversation. I assume this is what it's like when I try to explain anime to somebody else.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, let's go ahead and introduce these fine fellows who create wonderful pieces of art for all of us every week. Connor, let's start with you. I heard you're the leader of the party. You're also the showrunner, the most important person here. But really, the only thing that matters is that you're the artist tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'll be performing for you guys tonight. My name is Connor Hughes. I'm at Twitch TV/Connor Hughes. Back streaming live now. And actually, today I was working on this piece here, which is a wallpaper for our Kickstarter. Yeah, so I'll be doing some more characters. I'm not really sure what we're drawing yet. Like, we're changing the scenes, and so I'd maybe like to try and do the whole party today, but we'll see how it goes.
Who do you want to throw the intros to?
Bearded, you're next week, so why don't you go next?
Yeah. All right. You can find me at all the social medias at beardedjalapno, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all them good stuffs. Yeah, I do drawing and stuff.
Who do you want to throw to? Who you want to toss the brick to?
Let's go to Mick.
Okay, all right. That's a weird choice, but all right.
No win situation.
Some might question that decision, but go forward.
I'm Mccomicker. I'm everyone's favorite player and favorite character, and just, all around favorite. I've only murdered 1 dog so far on stream. On Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter, I'm Mccomicker, McComicker. I think I spelled that right. And yeah, I also stream on Twitch mostly daily at Twitch TV/Mccomicker. And that leaves PlanetKhaos.
Hey guys, my name's Robert. Online, I'm PlanetKhaos Art. So on Twitch, on Twitter, you can find me PlanetKhaos Art, chaos with a K. On Instagram, it's PlanetKhaos Art _art. Let me just screw that up one more time. PlanetKhaos _art for Instagram. And I spend my time drawing D&D characters and monsters and stuff like that. So over to you, AP.
I have a story. It feels like every week we have something about dogs. Whether dogs show up, dogs are talked about, dogs are mentioned in the intros. So every morning I check Reddit, especially the all Reddit, to see what's going on in the world, what great disaster or dumb shit is going on. And, sometimes when I do dramatic shit on the show, or when I just want to seem like a huge jerk ass, I put these sunglasses on and I'm like, yep, now I look so much more badass. But let me tell you something. I saw a fucking dog wearing these sunglasses on Reddit this morning. And I was like, no matter how fucking cool I am, I'm never going to be cooler than this fucking dog. This fucking Instagram model dog wearing sunglasses. That's it. That's my life. I have been ceiling capped by a dog. That's it.
Got your glass ceiling right there.
I mean, it's glass because I look through my cell phone and I'm like, look at this dog. This dog has got more followers on me on Instagram, which isn't hard because I don't use Instagram.
It's a rough life.
I know.
Down in their followers on Instagram for sure.
Look, man, I'm just saying.
It's a finite.
That dog knows how to style with those glasses.
Does the dog or does the owner? That's the question, I guess.
I feel like the dog was wearing them well.
Yeah. Dog knew what was up.
I tried putting outfits on my cat, right? At first, she just tossed them off. And then I was like, okay, I need more secure outfits. So these are like Velcro secured. They've got like rubber bands. They're not meant to come off. So I put it on the cat. She barrel rolls on the floor. The outfit remains behind and she goes darting off somewhere. And that was the last I heard of these cosplay outfits for cats. Like, if you get some sort of extra secure triple star guarantee outfit and the cat gets out of it in one motion, that's it. The cat doesn't want to wear it. That takes effort.
The secret to cats and getting them to wear things is you want them to jump into them and they can't get out. So, like Maru. Have you ever seen Maru?
No.
Well, Maru was this like cat online, and she just is a big fat cat, and I think it's a she, and she just jumps into boxes and sort of just stays in there and and just can't get out or something. I think
that would never happen for my cat.
You definitely have to check them out. They are hilariously cute.
My cat would destroy that box.
Look, so here's the thing. I have a couch next to my bed that I mean, I have multiple rooms, right? But couch bed scenario. But there's there's like curtains that block the bed, so the cat will run along the back of the couch and try to jump from the couch to the bed. But ever since I pulled the curtains just so slightly, they get in the way. The cat will slam into the curtain and just fall straight down. So, somehow she loses all momentum and just drops like a rock. I felt really bad, but I didn't move the curtain back.
I mean, it just gets funnier each time, right?
No, she's not supposed to be running on the back of the couch. She's got her hind claws and she digs them into everything, especially if it's my skin.
Look, if that's the worst your cat's doing to you, that's great. Our couch is just completely clawed to crap. I mean, it's just disgusting. And if we got a new one, the exact same thing would happen. So there's just like no endless loop. It's just until the cat is no longer clawing up that couch.
I think Mick can help you with that.
Yeah. Just let me know what your address is. I'll come take care of all of your cat problems.
Yeah. Look, well, I don't know if you can take care of all of them. But luckily, we moved our litter box because our cat was having some bathroom issues. We moved that litter box.
Oh, no, you won't even need the litter box after I fix your problem.
Down to the basement, and that's actually helped, so that's good. Much relief was had from that.
Especially from the cat.
Yes, indeed.
We got anything else to discuss right here for these intros? Lego Movie? Has anyone watched it?
No.
I just saw the Shazam trailer, which
no.
I thought I just thought the main the guy playing Shazam just needs to be a little bit like more like that classic Shazam look.
They need to
look pretty funny.
They just need to transform him and make him like this much wider.
Yeah. He's just he's too skinny. Yeah, too skinny. Like because Shazam was always that little bit like kind of like that the classic Superman look where he's just like thick. But no, I haven't seen anything but the Lego Movie. I never saw the first one. The first one was good, right?
Just yesterday, everybody on my stream was like, Lego Movie, and I'm like, what the hell is this Lego Movie thing?
Yeah, I didn't check out the anime you were talking about yet, but
Kaguya-sama? Look,
yeah,
it'll destroy your life.
Yeah,
really good.
I'm sort of more of a like my anime day was back, in 2000s, like 90s or something. So like I like Berserk and
Berserk.
Starblazers.
I liked Outlaw Star back in the day.
Okay, Outlaw Star. There we go. That's a good one.
Yourself, Connor.
Yeah.
You guys don't like Berserk?
No, nobody likes Berserk.
What? Berserk is great.
No, it's
not.
I
don't like Berserk.
You haven't seen the new Berserk, have you? They picked the anime up, but they made it into this crappy 3D CGI.
I blame the Japanese economy for that. Like, because a lot of the anime moving into
no, 3D? I mean, they're doing a lot of mixed animation, especially with like Idol Works, where there's lots of singing. They do all the songs and dances in CGI, and they do all the regular stuff in hand-drawn animation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to keep in mind the costuming in Berserk is so complex with all the plate armor that like drawing that out would be very difficult in the full animation style that they do. Well, they did it in the old one. The old one was good though. I think
just people killing a lot of other people, really dramatically, and then being like, "Oh no, I've killed a bunch of people. How will I ever live with myself?"
Oh come on, it's more complicated than that.
It's not
Guts
really
is a pretty
that much.
like interesting.
But basically, it's like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could say that about most action drama.
I could.
Or most stories, in fact.
So I think we're just gonna listen to Connor be super defensive about Berserk. That's all we're gonna do.
I mean, look, it's a reasonable level of defensive. Okay.
Berserk is a good anime, so I'm not even gonna back down from that. That's just
Look.
that's just, no.
The thing is, we need to get you in on this modern anime.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I sort of dropped out after Naruto, but I'm
Jesus.
willing to try. But
Wow.
yeah,
That was a long time ago.
I know.
You know that they have a new anime called Boruto that's been going on for like 2 years. That's all of the Naruto characters in like their 30s and 40s. They're all married with kids, and it follows their kids going around.
So it's
You
like
know, some
GT.
of
That's how you know you're old, when you're like, man, Naruto's in like his 40s now, and he's like managing the village, and when he started off, everybody hated him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like GT, Dragon Ball GT. They do the same thing. He's got
Okay,
kids.
well, first off, GT never happened.
GT is garbage.
Yep. GT never happened. And pretty much every Dragon Ball after Frieza died is terrible and awful.
Super is the worst.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. But nonetheless, I mean, okay, Z, he has kids, and
So this is the power of Ultra Instinct.
I mean, you could be like Ash Ketchum and be 11 for 40 years.
I think I waited so long for Goku to go Super Saiyan. Like it just drained me completely because
It was
I would
4
like
episodes.
Now everybody's going Super Saiyan. They're like, oh, she was born with the power to go Super Saiyan 2, and I'm like, what the fuck?
didn't they
She
also
was
introduce
born
colors?
with that ability? Is that real?
Yeah,
Is that something a person could do?
No other Saiyans were just born with it. They all had to get it for themselves. But this generation,
For some reason, they're like, yeah,
Yeah,
all of the half Saiyans are more powerful than full Saiyans. And I'm like, really? Is that how that works? Half elves are better than full elves at being elves?
that's
Well,
how
now-
genes work, right?
Yeah,
now they're all
exactly.
colors, right? Like there's different.
I
There's
don't
new
know.
colors or something, right? There's
Well, now they're blue, aren't they? They're just blue all the time
yeah.
now.
yeah.
They're just going across the spectrum.
Well, they're doing something, that's for sure.
Yeah. Trigun was good too.
Okay.
Wow, now you're just dating yourself.
Trigun. Look, Trigun was
Trigun was a thing.
it was good for the time it was
Yeah.
released in.
Yeah, for the time, it was fine.
I'm telling
It's
you,
like
we need to
watching
get you in on this
anime.
modern anime shit, man. You'll be like Trigun, more like sucky.
Well, I actually want to go back. I want to watch.
Let me tell you something. If you go back and watch Trigun, you will see the greatest villain in anime. His name is Brilliant Dynamite's Neon. And he shows up and he just tosses TNT at everybody. He's like, that's right, it's me, Brilliant Dynamite's Neon. Let's keep it shiny, bitches. And he just starts tossing explosives at everybody. And I was like, this is the coolest motherfucker in history. He's like Evil Knievel riding in on a motorcycle, tossing TNT at people.
Yeah, you're selling it to me pretty hard. That's for sure. I like what I'm hearing. Future Boy Conan though is next on my list as far as like if I'm going to sit down and watch an anime where I have to actually watch it as opposed to just listen to it because I can't really watch like dub or whatever. So you gotta go with the sub. So you gotta really actually watch it.
That can't
Wait,
draw
you
and
mean-
sub at the same time.
You mean you need to go with the dub, right? Because with the sub, you'd have to watch. Yeah, don't worry. Look, if you're looking for a good dubbed modern anime, you could even get the D&D based one. You need to watch Konosuba. It'll change your life, brother. It'll change your life.
That's Kono with a K or Kono with a?
I will put it
Okay.
in Discord for you.
All right.
That's
It
how
was-
much we care about your well-being, Connor.
It was just recently dubbed. People are saying the dub is excellent.
I'm looking at the style. I'm suspicious, but I'll
I
check it out.
mean, give it a try. You know, little taste. Take a little bit,
sample.
put it on the end of the knife. Get an episode or two in there.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, I guess.
We'll see. No. You take a watch. We'll see if you enjoy it.
It
It
probably looks
doesn't
like
look too bad, I guess, is the best you're going to get out of Connor.
Really? All right. Well, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's good. All right. I mean, I'll put it next to my list on Future Boy Conan. That's Because I've been waiting to watch that for a long time. But again, you got to watch that sub, so it is difficult.
Look, I would not suggest these people watch Fate. All right, Sun Spirit. They would get hooked on some Fate art style. It would be too deep for them. Fate is like the Japanese version of Marvel movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've definitely seen it around a lot. I think it's on Netflix now, right?
Yeah. So Netflix has the good one and the bad one.
So I got to watch out.
Yeah, you want Unlimited Blade Works, not Stay Night. Fate is not poo-poo. Stop being angry. I know that you're mad because you didn't get what you want in Fate Grand Order. You didn't get your old man with a sword. All right, calm down. We ready to do this? We're ready to level up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So previously on this show, where we never see what's happening on the adventure board, and we instead describe it out loud, usually very poorly, with everyone dying over and over again. The party, I don't want to say trampled, invaded. That's too strong. The party stumbled into the druid's keep in search of the magical staff, which held the soul of Kazador. Tricking the druid who held the staff, Runa grabbed it and then ran away while Mortrick got, slightly burned. I would say a medium level. Summoning her familiars, she brought forth giant badgers upon her death after being beaten quite soundly by the party. The giant badgers then put down most of the party members, leaving Kazador in dire straits, attempting to hold a door that the badger eventually went under, let his good friend Rik-Jaxx bleed almost completely dry in the next room. And finally, after defeating the second to last badger, chasing the final one off as it was too scared to engage this monstrous dwarf who had murdered so many of its fellows. Returning on the heels of a zombie attack, the party discussed things in town. The townspeople were still very upset with them after some terrible rolls. It turned out that someone in town was working against them and turned the rest of the townspeople, I want to say, like Mortrick levels of hatred against everybody.
That's about right.
Yeah,
it seems
yeah.
fair.
It's not hard to get to those levels,
Yeah.
but it is a skill.
From there, the party received small trickles of food and gifts from people in the town who, even though they had been banished, still wanted to give the party something for their efforts. Then the debt collectors came to collect the massive pile of debt that the players had accrued in the town with their actions, including several climbing kits. Having surrendered some of their rugs, they brought one of the hirelings with them. Gosh, what was this guy's name?
Hal.
Hal.
Hal 9000.
Right?
Hal, the old man hireling. And you are paying him a very small amount of money.
5 silver.
1 gold piece.
5 silver a day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we negotiated it down.
You're paying him $50. In a private conversation with none other than Kazador, the creature that was previously known as Paldrick revealed itself to be some sort of shape-shifting trickster, arrogantly proclaiming his intention to leave his fiancée behind in town with a giant pile of rugs and the beginnings of a new house, and then continue his trickstery travels in the other direction south, leaving nothing but disaster in his wake. Kazador, scared or perhaps intimidated by this creature's immense weirdness, kept quiet about everything. The party, gathering up its wagon, including its trustworthy withered old horse Winslow, has made its way to the base of the mountains, heading north through the pass. At the top of the pass, setting up, I wouldn't say it was a keep, I wouldn't even say it was a checkpoint. It's some trees that have been vaguely turned into log-like shapes to block the road, and bowmen and crossbowmen have set up there to prevent you from coming up and causing trouble. And that is where we will begin after we roll hit points. So each of you will get to roll your hit die size. So for most of you, it's going to be like a D6 or a D8. And then add your Constitution modifier, and that is your new hit point total that you add to your old one. So for instance, I'm just going to use Kazador. I think you have a +2 Constitution, right?
I rolled a 6.
+3.
So you have 6 more hit points then, Rik-Jaxx.
Yeah, no con bonus. Okay.
I mean, +6 hit points is a good amount of hit points. That's a whole sorcerer's worth of hit points.
I'm happy with that roll.
So you're up to 14 hit points. You could probably survive being downed in 1 hit now. So we were discussing this like post-stream, I think, last time. Most D&D party nowadays are starting at level 3 because that's when you get your specialization for most classes. Some of them get it at 1 or 2. But more importantly, it keeps you from dying from like a badger. Not just like a giant badger, just like a regular badger critically you will kill you at level 1. But I don't know, I kind of like the danger of starting there. There was a lot of danger so far, like an enormous amount. It went very poorly, but you know. What do we got here? Kazador picks up 12 hit points. Runa picks up 8, which is probably going to work out fantastically.
Thank God.
Mortrick pulls another 4. I mean, it's a little weak.
It's 2 more than I expected to roll.
Okay, that's, you know.
Then you should be happy, yeah.
You should celebrate your successes. Let's see. Chat has a message here. The lines in this drawing are phenomenal. The negative-positive space is successful. That sounds like a compliment. I just don't understand what it means.
Ego. He doesn't need it.
I don't need it, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's see who it was.
Role player. All right. So you all have a problem. You're fully rested. You're fully hit pointed. You've unloaded all of your rugs. You have some extra money. And 27 days left before Mortrick's Gias kicks in, and he has to turn himself into the police.
So in our travels, like from that night when we were, packing up and selling the rugs and all that, I sort of slapped Rik-Jaxx's back and was like, "Hey, I found these in the last place, and so here they are. There's 2 vials of poison or something. I'm not sure what they are, but they're green. And hey, I think you should have them."
All right.
So cool. Over to.
Okay. Mark on your character sheet, just delete them, and Rik-Jaxx, mark that you now have 2 green vials.
Yeah.
They are kind of glowing and putrescently green, almost mildly radioactive.
And also on the road, like in that time, I sort of described to them, my interactions with whatever that kind of person was. Kaz.
So you're not on the road yet. You are at the base of the Northern Mountain Pass. You're just north of the town of Shadow Valley. Apple Valley, and those former mercenaries turned whatever the hell they are now have logged off the road at the top and are looking over like switchbacks with bows and crossbows to prevent people from approaching without declaring themselves.
Okay. Well, I thought there was some distance between where we were last time and like now. Okay.
Not that much distance. Several hundred feet.
Okay. All right.
This is you guys waking up. You're describing your interactions with Pauldrick.
You're probably not used to like how time works when you're not communing with the mountain.
He was only in the mountain for like 6 hours.
6 hours, yeah. I likened it to a sensory deprivation tank, but
that's perfect. That's exactly what happened to you.
Yeah, and so then I reread the research on that, and I thought people sort of went insane with those things in a few hours. But they can last 3 days in those things, and you're okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. So yeah, Kaz is all right. Mentally, he's still there.
Is he though?
Okay.
All right. So we're waking up. Is that what it is? Can I do a quick check to see if I can investigate these green vials and kind of determine their potency or anything.
Are you opening them?
I will open one.
Okay. Yeah. Make an investigation check and then make a constitution check.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, I've got the wrong window here. So investigation is coming now.
So for people watching live, I'm going to update these overlays next week to say level 2, because that's what they are. Okay. You recall having seen something like this happening to the bear. Actually, you might not have seen it personally, but you heard it described. You definitely saw it on the zombies. This appears to be something like the putrescence that had leaked from them. And you've handled diseased, poisonous stuff before, and when you open it, you get the smell that, like, this is not good. This is some real bad shit you're holding in your hand.
Okay, so I'll close up the vial. I was considering to use it for the arrows, but I don't think so.
Oh yeah, no, you could slather some arrows with this shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, in general, if I put stuff on the arrows or the bolts, do they last a certain time, or does it depend on the poison?
Yeah, it will depend on the poison. Some of them will last longer than others. This stuff, okay, you're not sure. Yeah. You definitely know that whatever those dwarves were using ate away at the bolts. It actually physically corroded whatever was on it. This stuff, you have no idea.
Okay.
You're not familiar with it. It's definitely alchemical and magical in nature.
All right. So I'll keep them in my pouch for now.
I will say this. Possession of this is probably a crime.
Yeah.
So thanks, Kaz.
I'm glad I passed him off. Here you go, Rik-Jaxx. You're the kind of guy that seems to handle this legal
stuff. Be arrested for dealing then?
Well, you know how it is with adventurers, right? Half the time you can just be like, we found it in a dungeon and we were taking it to somebody to dispose of, and the other half the time you're gonna get arrested.
What kind of money would Mortrick be looking at if he turned him in?
I mean, probably not that much, but in the range of a few dozen gold, probably, for dealing in alchemical poisons.
So I'm just going to keep that in the back of my mind for a day when I don't want to work that hard.
Remember that you don't need to bring in gold every day. You just need to work towards getting gold.
Yeah.
And as long as you hold in your mind the idea that getting the flute equals getting all of your debt paid, you should be good.
Okay.
And I also want to remind you, if you ever go against making money, you take 5d10 psychic damage every day. It's a rough life. It's a rough life being geist. I actually geist my other D&D party as well, like the very next day. I was like, hey, you guys want a sweet geist deal? And they were like, not really. And I was like, how about yes? So you have shared, Kazador, some of your concerns about Mortrick, that maybe he's a shape-shifting liar, maybe he's a total creepster, maybe he's about to abandon his wife, fiance, who's pregnant.
Fiance. I mean, Kaz isn't particularly concerned with that end of it. I mean, sort of that's their deal. You know, since he's not aware of the sort of, you know, he got a bad vibe from him, but he's not aware of like precisely the nature of the evil that he is. So, you know, this is a weird guy. He's doing something weird, and we have a mission, and we got some goals to make up. So, you know, he's not particularly concerned about it right now. Yeah,
but he tells the rest of us about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I just told.
He's not particularly concerned, just generally concerned.
Yeah, just chatting with you guys. Like, yeah, that's what you know. He just bought all our rugs, and yes, he definitely convinced the town that we were a problem. But
all the rugs are going to that lady, right?
Yep. Well, yeah. Most of the rugs.
Most of the rugs,
except for the ones that went for our climbing gear, they didn't go to the lady.
Yes.
So what we know which rugs are going to her, or we don't?
Yes, they've already gone to her. They've all been removed from their wagons.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone from the village still with us?
Hal.
Haltrick.
Yeah.
Hal, that's it.
Yep.
So Kaz is gonna kind of take up a look up of the.
Kaz, tell us about Kaz just told us this now. And
In the morning. Yep.
Gone.
Next morning. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far away from the village are we?
Less than a mile.
Yeah.
Less than a mile.
Guys is going to take a look and see about look at their position. These mercenaries up on the hill,
Yep.
and kind of analyze their kind of like defensive posture. Like how defensive are they? You know, kind of see. You know, are they looking? How aggressive are they standing? What do we think?
Sure. Make an insight check.
All right.
I want to. While we're getting ready to go, I'm gonna write a little note and put 50 silver in a pouch, give it to Hal, and tell him to take it back to the lady.
50 silver. All right. So that would be enough for her and her child to live for about 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
All right. So it's a considerable amount of money, obviously.
Right. Can I mean, I don't have what I would say off the top of my head. So, but could I use one of my bardic inspirations for today to write her a very positive, uplifting note that she could look to in times of trouble?
I will allow it. What does this positive, uplifting note say?
It's just going to say, the sun will come out tomorrow. Tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow.
She can bet her bottom copper that tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure that that's the intent.
Yeah.
All right. New Rik-Jaxx, who this? Oh, he just showed up on the overlay too.
Damn, there's no way we could we don't know about changelings, right? We just know he got a bad feeling.
I mean, you can make an Arcana check. Kazador doesn't know about changelings.
Yeah. All right, yeah. I want to make an Arcana check.
Excellent. Tell me more.
You did see him at the tavern, of course.
And I saw him change. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are much more suspicious than.
God damn it! I hate this so much.
You rolled ones on both of those dice, which is incredible.
Should be the first roll.
I mean, that is truly impressive.
All right, yeah. So I'm just gonna send her the note that I don't know anything about the changeling. It's just I know this guy's gonna leave her because that's what Kaz told us. So hey, here's just here's some money and something you can look to when you need inspiration.
All right. So just real quick, I'm setting all of your character tokens to your character sheet. And if I've done it correctly, it should have your HP values in a bar over your head.
Yep. Looks like Kaz does.
Runa doesn't have an HP value.
Just a green bar.
Yeah, well, as you click on the token, there'll be a green circle, and you can subtract stuff from that. And when you do that, it will decrease the bar.
Oh, very cool.
So everyone will be able to be like, oh no, you have a low amount of health left. Right? So Mortrick has a 0 in his health right now, so...
No!
It's the green one? Okay.
Right, very cool.
What's your health, Runa?
18.
All right, so I'm going to put your 18 over 18.
Nice.
And it should generate a bar. There we go. Boom. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I'm not going to say it was this class specifically that was the last straw, but it definitely contributed towards your apathetic aptitude for higher education, right? The professor is young, trying to act hip, right? He's like, changelings, yeah. Let's just throw this around here. Shapeshifters, you know, there's a lot of terminology that we can use for them, but we're just going to go over the etiquette and ethics of how to discuss these creatures. You know, we don't want to be offensive to them just because they're not like us. You were just out. You were done at that point.
Sounds about right. Yeah, so just the note and 50 silver then. Mark off a bardic inspiration for the day.
Excellent. Hal will return in less than an hour.
Okay.
Kazador, returning to your earlier insight check.
Yes.
You don't have deep knowledge of surface battle tactics.
Good.
But from what you can tell, these guys seem trained to use their weapons, and they hold a superior position. They will know you're approaching, and they can fire down on you while still remaining in cover. It's not a great situation.
Yeah.
They are not shooting you, even though you are either within their range or very close to it.
Hal, what do you think about? Is there any other paths around this?
Are you waiting an hour for Hal to come back? Or are you just talking to Hal? You turn and like he's gone, and Mortrick's standing where he was.
Like what? I sent him on an errand.
Why did you send Hal away? We need Hal.
All right, you do the Witcher thing where you sit down and you kneel, and then within seconds the sun has moved slightly, and Hal is approaching from the distance in a cutscene. He's like, "Hey guys."
But that time I've spent telling him about this one time I saw a map of the area, so I know it like the back of my hand, and I can get us through here. We don't need to wait for Hal. It's fine.
Do you have the Hermit's mapping ability?
No, I don't.
From background? Because there actually is a background ability that lets you recall any map that you've ever seen.
Don't have it.
Outlander, that's what it's called. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography. You might believe that you know the area of Mortrick, but how well you know it, we'll find out later.
Yeah. Well, Mortrick, in that case, where do you think we can go around these guys? I don't know if we want to take on these mercenaries right now.
Oh no, of course we don't. We're gonna die, or at the very least, Runa's gonna die, and Rik-Jaxx is gonna die. Listen, I'm pretty sure it's my turn.
I would prefer not to die.
And then me have to somehow save you. No one wants that, because it's not going to work out as well as it has the last 3 times.
We don't need to fight everything we encounter.
That is a good point.
Hal's just like, well, gentlemen, don't worry. We can go see one of my grandkids out west in Pear Valley. It'll be a 2-week trip, but we can get north through the mountains around that way.
2 weeks? We haven't 2 weeks, Hal. I'm sorry.
Do you have a giant eagle?
No.
Can you summon a dragon?
Not at my...
Hippogriff.
Can you burrow us there?
Then this is the only pass to the north.
You know how dwarves get about this kind of thing. Let's get him.
I don't ride.
I brought a Snickers with me if you want one.
All right. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Should we approach them? And what should be our how are we going to get past these?
No, I think we follow. I think we've got 2 weeks. What are you thinking about?
You don't have 2 weeks, Mortrick. And I don't know what happens to us in the month that you have your debt. If we're just
that just means we got to work fast when we get there. Listen, the most important part of every syllabus is figuring out which of those assignments you can skip to pass the class. So looking at this assignment right now, we can skip this hill and still pass the class. It's going to be a little harder, but we can do it.
So, Mortrick, you recall that the journey over water from Pyre's Water to Havens is also 2 weeks.
Right.
That's 28 days total travel. If nothing happens at a good speed.
At a good speed.
Yeah, assuming no issues, we'll be at our destination in 4 weeks.
I mean,
what are the odds that time?
I feel like things have been going fine so far. Name one problem we've had in like the last, I don't know, just 3 weeks.
Your feelings don't seem like an objective appraisal of the situation.
That is the most stunning condemnation of Mortrick's outlook on life I've ever heard.
Yeah.
All right, fine. What's your plan, Kaz?
I say we talk to them, see what they want.
Now they're blocking us from continuing, right? They're blocking
Yes.
us from going to the
Yeah.
next destination.
That's
Okay.
correct.
All right.
If,
And we're basically within range of them, and they haven't fired.
Yes.
Okay, so I agree. Let's actually go talk. We can approach them, in a non-threatening manner and just kind of see.
Yeah. All right, guys, let me do the talking. It's kind of my job.
I'm gonna stay here and kind of map out the area with my calligrapher's kit. Just where the town is, where the mountain is, and kind of the general terrain.
What I suggest we also do is you try and gain a position while Mortrick and I are talking to them and seeing if you can sneak around and just be in a position if anything goes wrong.
Sounds good. So I'll attempt to. I'm assuming I can't quite visualize, but I'm assuming there's woods and forest off to each side of us.
No, this is a path, a switchback path that goes up the side of a mountain through a narrow pass.
Well, then in that case, our goal, what we'll do is Hal, you come, you bring the cart.
Hal's like, okay.
And you bring the cart and position it to our right and in front, and then that might create a bit of a
If
path.
we're trying to sound or seem non-threatening, why would we bring the cart and set up defensive positions against them?
Yeah, we just kind of need to approach nonchalantly.
How about Hal and I stay here with the cart, and you guys can go talk to them?
Well, if we're trying to approach nonchalantly, why don't we just take Winslow up there? We'll drive casually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll just approach like we ain't.
I agree.
We'll
with
keep
Hal.
our hands on the reins at 10 and 2.
All right. Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
All right.
about
I want to
90?
remind you that he's an old man that knows nothing about adventuring and has never been in a fight in his entire life.
What could go wrong?
Just as a
I'm not worried.
All
Let
right.
me go. All right, so
He's on the wagon and he's just like approaching, and every time he's about to turn, he uses hand signals to indicate that he's going to turn. The guys at the top with the one guy with the crossbow is looking incredulous as you guys are approaching. Who's in the wagon? Who's walking with the wagon? And who's not going up?
I'm walking.
I'm
Okay.
walking.
In the wagon.
Mortrick?
I'm walking.
All right.
I'm walking. I want to be out a little in front so that I can talk to him first.
All right.
Rik-Jaxx, where are you?
I'm walking.
So,
I'll walk behind the cart.
As you approach, you can kind of hear the creaking of a bowstring as someone like draws one arrow tight, and someone calls from about 100 feet before you reach the top. Oh there! Stop right there! You can let that one approach.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna like wave to the guys to stop, and then just like kind of jog up.
He's not pointing at you. He's pointing at Kazador.
Oh.
Well, this is gonna go well.
Oh.
I motion Mortrick to follow as I go forward.
No, he said you, man. I'm not going to the principal's
Oh,
office.
okay. You can both come. Just
All right. Thank you. That's a good decision.
all right. So as you're approaching, you can see there are 3 human men wearing the former mercenary outfits of the Duragar's company. Black with silver trim. One of them has a bow pointed at Mortrick. The crossbowman is covering the wagon. Basically seems like he's kind of aiming at Hal. And the third guy is kind of like wandering back and forth, trying to keep an eye on things, and you can hear him muttering as you approach, like, all right, where's that fucking Sir Eflin? Where's the deep gnome? I'm trying to keep my eyes on him. Can't let him get behind me. Just keeps looking around.
All right, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, how you doing? What's going on?
All
out
right,
here
stop right
today?"
there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You have a knife on you?
This is your party.
Stop talking. You have a knife on you.
I do. I have a knife and an épée. I don't know if you're familiar with that type of
Use the
weapon.
knife to cut your hand and then cut his hand.
Oh, okay. Like a deep cut, or can like just like a finger prick?
Enough to see blood.
Okay. So I'm gonna slice my finger, and then I'm like, Kaz, you ready? If you need to, like let out a naughty word, that's fine.
Why do you want us to cut each other?
Stop asking questions.
I think you know, Kaz. I think you know. And then I'm going to cut Kaz's hand.
So Kaz, you're wearing full plate. There's no place to easily cut you on.
Yeah, he can cut like my ear. I take off my helmet, he can cut my ear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll cut him on the ear then.
All right, the two of you go back there. You send the other three up.
One at a time or as a group?
As a group.
Okay. So I head back.
All right, I head back too.
Like, Runa, Rik-Jaxx, Hal, you guys need to go up and take a test.
Okay.
I think they want to make sure that we're not Kaz's friend from last night, which I will whisper so they can't hear.
I'll get up off the cart and then walk over.
Okay, you stop right there. Don't come any closer. Cut your hand.
Cut my hand.
Rik-Jaxx?
Cut my hand.
Hal is just like, I don't know about this. This seems kind of unsanitary. We're all using the same knife.
I'm using my own knife.
Oh, you're using... Okay, all right. Well, I guess I have a belt knife. It's not very sharp, but okay. All right. He cuts his hand. There's a lot of blood. He's like, oh, no. Oh boy. He like takes a bandage out and starts wrapping his hand.
I'll help him wrap it.
All right, so the three men are all like breathing a deep sigh of relief. Although the guy with the crossbow like takes his hand off the trigger a little bit, lets it fall, and then picks it back up and points it at you guys. The dude who is muttering about deep gnomes has taken his bow, has an arrow to it, hasn't pulled the bowstring, but is aiming it in the general direction of Rik-Jaxx. The third guy with the longbow that's drawn undraws the bow with some effort and says, all right, who's the leader of your party? You seem like adventuring folk. You know, normally you guys have a man that you send to talk to everyone. Typically a really bad liar.
Well,
I'll turn around, walk back to the cart, and be like, Mortrick, you're up.
Yes.
I shove him forward.
I'm gonna hold up my hand for a high five as I pass.
It felt like a high five moment to get tagged in.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, okay. No, hold on to that one. I'll come back for it later. And then I'll head up.
All right. What's your business here?
Our business here is leaving here. We're just trying to get out of your hair, get back on the road. We got places to go, people to see, money to make. You know how it is.
Money. Interesting you bring that up.
It is everyone's favorite subject. I'm going to stick my hand in my pocket and pull out 10 silver coins.
So he looks at the 10 silver coins, kind of impressed, and then says, how much did you make in town?
Here?
Yeah, we're official tax collecting business here, so we're going to need to levy the
No, I totally understand. Well, we recently concluded a sideline in the rug business. However, what's the name of the lady getting married?
No one ever got her name. She's just Paldrick's fiance.
Have you seen Paldrick's fiance? Such a cute couple. They're getting married soon, so we actually gave away quite a few of the rugs. We only sold about 3 of them to the general store manager.
Right, but how much money did you make?
Believe we made
overall, not just with the rug business.
Oh, overall,
yeah.
I'd say 40 silver.
40 silver. Okay, 10 silver seems appropriate. What do you think? I'm a fucking idiot? That guy's wearing full plate armor.
Yeah, that we found in the mountain. There is.
Yeah, we have to
mountain?
tax that salvageable income.
Why tax it when you can go get your own? Listen, there is a room up in that mountain.
No one is going back in that mountain. You can't. No one is going.
Does anyone have the map? I'm telling you. Look, we got a secret way in. It's the first door on your left.
You don't know anything about that mountain, brother.
It's a beautiful setup.
No, you're not listening. He starts drawing back the bow. He's like, you're not listening. You're not listening. I'm telling you, no one goes back in that mountain.
Man, you don't know what you're missing out on. But
you don't know what you're missing out on.
I understand, you know, adventuring is not for the faint of heart. It's not a job for everyone.
Look, just based on the price of the full plate you salvaged, it's going to be a considerable tax here. Normally, it'd be like 150 gold pieces. But for you, I like you. I'll make it a special price, 50 gold pieces.
50 gold pieces. Well, my friend, I am sorry to say, as I told you earlier, we donated most of our proceeds to...
How about the horse?
The horse?
The horse.
Well, then Hal's going to have to pull the wagon. Have you seen him? There's no way he could do that.
Why don't you just have the dwarf pull the wagon? He seems like pretty strong.
I know, right? Dwarves. Don't get me started. But I don't think he'd be up for it. He looks big, but he's kind of a wuss. Why do you think we were in that mountain? We had to go in and save his ass twice.
All right. You know what? We're a bit of an impasse here. What kind of level of material coinage do you and your party have?
I am the group treasurer. Currently on my person, I've only got 15 silver, 10 of which I'm willing to offer you. Again, just to reiterate, we had a rather large donation we made to the village before we left.
All right, make a deception check.
Our coffers.
Make that deception check.
Here comes that one.
Ready for another double one?
I'm prepared. Are you?
No, because I know that's what I'm going to roll. Wait, what is
well,
this?
I mean, if you know you're going to roll it, then you are prepared.
It doesn't make it any easier when it happens.
That's true. Look, life's tough. For everything else,
like...
there's MasterCard.
Why is it? It looks weird. It like I don't have. It's the formulas. It's not the actual character sheet.
Where you at?
Is Rik-Jaxx up front and Runa
I've got
front, or are we all back with the cart?
Oh, you've turned yourself into an NPC. There you go.
Oh,
I turned you back into a player.
Okay. Deception. Double ones.
I don't think so. You still managed to roll a 1 though.
God damn it!
You only need to roll so 1, and that's the first one.
How many of these guys are there?
There's 3.
There's 3. All right. All right. We've only got the 15, 10 of which I'm offering to you.
So they huddle up and begin discussing quietly. It
wow, they're
doesn't sound positive.
Kaz is right next to me, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to turn around and whisper to Kaz, and I'm going to like start to pull the epee from my scabbard and be like, I think we just got to do this thing.
I mean, as you begin drawing the epee,
I'm not drawing. I'm just loosening it. Just
the dude with the crossbow like whips around, and you see him fingering the trigger guard, and he's just like,
"Oh, hey, friend, hey."
Yeah, he's like, yeah, hey there, friend, hey there. Why don't you unbelt that sword right now? Put it on the ground. I'll tell you what, we'll take your 10 silver and we'll take your sword. We'll take all of your weapons. That's the payment to come through here. I'm
going to cast sleep.
Okay. Wait. I need you to make a dexterity check versus this guy to see who shoots first.
Okay.
So the question is, are you Han Solo or are you Greedo?
I mean, the way I've been rolling, dexterity?
Yep.
It's just a check, not a save.
Just a check.
They're all focused on Mortrick right now, right?
That is correct, but you are all behind him. You're all within the field of view.
Is the terrain rocky?
Yes, it's a path heading up the side of a mountain into a forest.
All right, so do I have a chance of doing stone camouflage?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to use Merge with Stone.
Interesting.
Which is Pass Without a Trace, basically, for Ganassi.
All right, Mortrick, you cast first. why don't you go ahead and roll me how many hit points you knock out?
Right. Once I... Hold on, where'd it go? It's D10s? 4D10? No, that seems insane.
No, I think sleep's
pretty high because the average roll is going to be fairly low.
Yeah, and the number you roll, I think, is how many people you...
it's the number of hit points that you take out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So roll high, come on.
Oh, you know me.
Yeah, it's 5d8.
5d8, that's what.
Yeah.
Right. Motherfucking damn it.
All right. You knock out the dude with the crossbow. He is going to fire at you at disadvantage before he goes down. So, like, he is slumping forward, and the crossbow thunks in the process. Let's see here. +3.
Nice.
I didn't actually.
Oh.
Sure.
I would have really loved that too.
It looks like a 2 to me.
It's just giving me a 2 over and over again.
I like that. We can go with that.
I'll keep it.
Are you sure that's not just the odds giving you?
Yeah.
That's statistics for you.
That's the algorithm right there.
12.
Okay, Mick rolled 2 1s.
12?
Yep.
My armor class is 13.
So even as he slumps forward, your cheek gets grazed by the missile going past you.
Ow.
One little hair off your head begins floating down as he falls forward. The other two guys immediately begin drawing their bows. They're like, what was that? Shit is going down very quickly.
And there's just the 2 of them, right?
So they aren't ready to murder all of you yet, but they are extremely concerned that you're casting spells. And
Okay,
the leader who is talking to you is like, don't move, no one moves, and nobody gets hurt.
As soon as that guy falls asleep, I want to pull out my epee and lunge at this guy.
All right. What's the rest of the plans? Kazador, you're forward enough to get in here very quickly.
Like on the screen, and
I don't really have this encounter like ready to go here. Let's say that you guys are strong enough that like one hit from you will definitely kill these
I
people.
wanted to stealth to get up towards the other guys that were above us.
I don't know that stealthing is possible on an open stone path. Oh, right, you have meld with stone.
Yeah.
yeah, he had Velvet Stone, and Rik-Jaxx had.
I also have Earthwalk, which I can move in difficult terrain that's stone or earth.
Okay. All right, let's have both you make your stealth checks.
Kaz is ready to go. Kaz has been ready to go ever since they made him cut his ear. So he's going forward.
Just so you know, mine is advantage on dex roll.
That will apply here.
Okay.
Really hate this algorithm.
I'm just going to click the button twice.
Yep.
I don't think we've rolled above a 12.
Damn you, Sweden!
So here's the thing. You both are detected approaching. Kazador, you get one shot to act, and there's two guys. They both have bows. They're behind half cover because they're covered up to their waists.
In stone? Like with stone?
In logs that have been...
Right. So
again, logs is
these
generous.
logs?
It's like 3 trees, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top, that have been laid sideways.
Jump over these logs if I want to take one out.
I mean, you could try to hit them over it, but yeah, if you can clear the logs, you'll be flanking. You'll be behind them. You know, they'll be very nervous. You know how it is with dwarves. You definitely don't want an angry dwarf beside you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna. How far? Like, okay, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty. I guess if it's too detail oriented, but like, if the log, how far along the around would I have to go and go around the logs?
Quite a distance. They've set this up so, and the terrain on the either side is fairly rocky, right? They've made it so that if you brought a cart up, you wouldn't be able to go around them easily.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna jump over the logs at 5 feet away from them, so not like in attacking distance, right? I mean, I guess it's still a crossbow or whatever. But anyway, he's doing that, and then he's going to try and engage one from the side on the opposite side that Runa and Rik-Jaxx.
All right, make a athletics check to see if you can clear the logs, because they're at human waist level, which for you is like close to eye level.
Right.
That's a big jump.
Dwarves are natural sprinters.
Yeah.
Natural sprinters.
But are they natural vaulters? Let's find out.
Find out.
Someone get this man a pole arm.
That's what the rolls are for here, folks.
It's gonna be a 1. Not a 1.
Kazador, let me tell you something. In full plate armor, you one-hand pivot jump sideways over the edge with your weapon in hand, and then using your shield slide down the other end and land perfectly. It's like hundreds of pounds of you and armor that land, and you're like, ugh! This is the most badass you've ever felt in your entire life. You've never had armor like this, but you are wearing it like you were born to do this. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right, so I take a swipe at the rear of their back knee.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing. Let's see these attacks.
Nice.
Okay. So you hit this guy, and there is a sick crunching noise that lets you know that where he had an internal chest cavity, there's now like your warhammer. As you have to put a boot on his waist and pull it back out, the third guy like got his bow. He's drawing it. He's looking at Mortrick running at him with the weapon out. He's noticed Rik-Jaxx and Runa running at him now. They both have like weird stony skin and are trying to blend in with the ground. Everything is going real fucked up real fast. And now there's a dude with blood all over his weapon who just killed his mate. And he just drops his bow. And he's like, I surrender. I surrender. You have to take me in now. Can't hurt me.
I'm going to finish my charge up to him.
Yeah.
And then just flick him across the cheek to draw blood.
Okay.
And be like, huh. All right, you check out. Kaz, you want to take care of this for us?
Kaz rolls his eyes heavily and grabs some rope out of his pack and starts tying up the cheek-flecked individual, as well as, I guess, afterward, the sleeping fellow.
I'm going to flick his cheek for good measure, too.
You wake him up when you do that.
Oh,
Just to be
okay.
clear.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
You can flick him after we tie him up.
Yeah, after he's tied up, I'll flick him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I feel comfortable with all this prisoner flicking that's going on. Look, we got lucky here, guys.
Whatever. We handle this like pros. We are pros. We're
literally the most pro thing we've ever done.
Literally.
We just vaulted the logs.
High five.
Yes.
Oh, it's so painful to watch.
It was painful for me as well.
So what's the plan? You've got 2 living, we will call them bandits. One of them's unconscious, and if you shake him or disturb him in any way, he'll wake up.
I'm going to pick the pockets of all the ones that aren't sleeping to remove their weapons and anything that they could use to harm us, as well as take note of their items.
Okay, all right.
We can't even tie that guy up, can we?
I mean, if you start tying him up, you can finish it before he wakes up.
Right,
you know what I mean? If you like pin his arms behind his back, he's gonna wake up and be like, "Oh, my arms are pinned on my back."
Yeah, all right, I'd say let's take care of all the pickpocketing before we wake him up. Then
Kaz looks around to see if they have like a wagon or if they have whatever entrenchment that they have here. Is that like packs?
There's not even. There's no packs. There's no food. They've got nothing.
So these guys have a base nearby. Otherwise, they couldn't be camped. They're not even camped.
Aren't they just from the village?
You have no idea.
So. I don't know.
As you loot them, Runa,
the
you end up with 2 longbows, 1 crossbow, 30 ammunition for each weapon, 12 silver pieces, 3 notes of mark, which basically are like letters saying that these guys are official mercenaries. But the notes of mark are all issued for the Caverns of Duresh, which is nowhere near here.
Okay.
Caverns of
How many silver pieces?
12.
12.
They're from out of town, huh?
Okay.
So the Caverns of Duresh, just quick note, you might know more individually, but collectively you would know that it's kind of like the Mos Eisley of Dwarf Town. It's where the shittiest dwarves interact with the shittiest of surface dwellers. It's basically like a pirate den on land.
Okay.
All right.
Underland. Underland.
Right. Of course. Anybody? The crossbow? Longbow? No?
I'll take the arrows.
I mean,
You
it's
take the arrows. I'll break the longbows.
Oh boy. When you break the longbow, like everything snaps, there's a huge noise. Like the guy whose longbow you break is like, no, it's so beautiful.
I'm gonna flick him with my epee and be like, listen, shut up until we're done.
All right, so I'm gonna start asking them, who are you guys working for? Who are you really? I mean, you're not here as collecting taxes.
Well, okay. Look, make an intimidation check.
Who does number 2 work for?
I should have asked Mortrick to do this. All right.
You got this, Kaz. Can I back him up?
Oof.
Yeah, you can, but that only gives him an 8. He's just like, I don't have to say anything to you.
I come over and
That's
slap
true.
him, and then
You could end up like your other friend over there who has a warhammer where his chest.
We have letters of marque and we've surrendered properly.
we're adventurers. We don't give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in this group can read.
He's like, that's murder. That's murder.
Again, your other friend with the warhammer in his chest cavity. I don't think that's going to bother anyone.
This
here.
guy's just like, it's one thing to do it in battle. I don't think you have the guts to do it now. You seem like a real cowardly type.
3 days ago, I killed a sleeping dog. So
He's just like, oh, so that was you. That was my fucking dog, you ponce. He starts struggling against the bonds. He's like, I'll fucking eat your brains. I will kill you and eat your brains. That was my fucking dog, you son of a bitch.
All right, I'm going to stab him in the leg.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it hurts a lot. You stab him in the leg. He's like, you're gonna have to do a lot worse than that, dog killer.
Settle down, champ. All right. Now we can talk, or I can just kill you and wake up sleeping.
I mean, he's struggling to get out and like murder
right,
you. He's very upset that you killed his dog.
I'm just gonna stab him.
All right.
Right in the heart.
It's a little difficult. It takes a few tries because he's like struggling around trying to murder you. But eventually he loses enough blood that you hit the heart.
All right.
I'm asking Hal.
Man, that is so hard.
Have you seen these guys? Has anyone around town been talking about some bandits?
So there's a third guy, that the crosswoman who's still tied up. He's remaining quiet through all of this. Hal is just like, bandits? No, haven't seen any bandits. Haven't seen these gentlemen here before. But pretty sure what you just did was murder.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Mortrick.
Like, we are adventurers. That is our job. I don't know.
I just want to let you know that if any law enforcement official from the Baron asks me any questions, I'm going to tell them the truth. So
that's fine.
Okay, all right. Like, I'm a little concerned about what I've signed up for now. I don't want to be complicit in any criminal conspiracies.
Next time it's time to murder someone.
There's really never a good time to murder people, you know? Like,
we've murdered like 30 people since we've been here.
What?
They were all in the mountains. See? You murder people in a mountain, no one cares. You murder someone out in the sunshine.
Hal is beginning to question 5 silver a day right now.
Listen, Hal, I'm sorry if this upsets you. Let's have this discussion later when you just need to get back on the road, okay?
So Hal, you haven't heard of any bandit activity or people running this check? This is a new checkpoint here. Have you ever left the valley before?
Well, I mean, I've gone to Pear Valley before.
Yeah, we're on the way to Pear Valley right now, right?
No, we're heading north. We'd have to go south and west in order to go to
is
Pear
that
Valley.
Apricot Valley?
There is no Apricot Valley.
Oh, I really like apricots.
Apricots don't grow in valleys.
Where do apricots go? I like apricots.
Let's just knock them out. Let's just knock them out and take the uniforms. And
I ask Rik-Jaxx, have you ever been to the caverns of Duresh? I think it sounds like your kind of location.
I don't think I've been there. I've heard of it. I've heard the same stories you guys have heard.
Just so you know, Rik-Jaxx, that was super racist what he just said.
Yeah.
Cats, please, can you tone it down just a little bit? Rik-Jaxx, I'm so sorry.
That seems like your kind of place, you know, Morocco.
Don't stereotype me, man. Yeah.
Look, I mean, we have to extract all the information we can out of each other here.
Okay, let me try. I have a low intimidation, but we'll try. I didn't say that out loud. I'm just saying to the group. But now to this guy, I'll walk up to him and pull out.
I want to back Rik-Jaxx up on this too.
I didn't. Rik-Jaxx, let me ask you a question. You gonna let Mortrick get in here and help you out?
You know what? For the laughs, yeah.
Oh my God.
I go up behind Kaz and basically say, maybe you could ask him if he's ever been there next time.
Didn't I just ask him if he's ever been there?
No, you asked him if that's his kind of place.
No, I didn't ask him that. I said it was his kind of place.
Well, I said I don't know anything other than probably the stories that you guys have heard.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I've been there. So I want to take out the green vial and I'm going to tell the guys, like, you know what? We need some information from you. I need you to tell us everything you know, or I'm going to have you drink this vial. And trust me, this is not something that you want to have happen.
Mortrick, how do you help?
I'm still just like staring him dead in the face while I wipe the blood of his friend off my sword.
Okay, yeah, all right. Make that intimidation check at advantage.
At advantage, okay.
Yeah, maybe it's your best shot. Okay, a 19 on the die is pretty fucking good. You don't actually have a charisma score or proficiency in intimidation, so yeah.
I do not.
A 19 is very good. So he's looking at that shit, and he's not scared of Mortrick. He's not scared of Rik-Jaxx. He's scared of that vial. He's very afraid of it. And he's like, all right, look, what do you want to know?
Okay, first off, I want to know what you know about this vial. You seem to be familiar with it and what it can do.
Wait. Okay, look. Before we talk about that vial, what's your plans for me?
Well, that's up to you.
I want to walk away from this.
Well, that is a possibility if
with my crossbow.
If we are satisfied with your answers, then it is a possibility.
You can have the crossbow, but you can't have the arrows.
I will do my best to hold back Mortrick, because you just saw Mortrick murder your friend. So I'll do my best to hold him back, but you know, Mortrick, what do you think?
Look, this is so weird. The like villainous looking deep gnome is like, I'll hold back the happy human smiling guy. It's such a reverse of good cop, bad cop. This guy
at that moment, his smile seems a little creepier than it once did.
Like a clown.
Yeah, Mortrick being a clown is something I definitely agree with. All right, look, if I walk away from this, I'm willing to talk. I don't know what's up with that vial. All I know is that druid was experimenting with things. I don't want anything to do with it. It's ungodly. It's wrong. She did things that are gonna haunt my dreams, okay? I'm a mercenary. I've killed people before. This right here, him with smashing people with hammers, that's nothing. I've seen way worse stuff than that. That vial is a plague. If you were smart, you'd bury it deep in the ground, cover the hole up, plant something on top of it and never look back. You throw it deep in the ocean or leave it back in that cave, but no one will ever find it. That file is evil. And not like, oh no, I'm being murdered evil. That is true villainy distilled into a bottle.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to put them back in my pouch. And I need to know more about your unit, your mercenary unit. Well, how are you guys here? Because
that's me. I'm the whole unit now. I'll tell you what, I let my letter of mark back before this conversation's over.
Aren't you a little outside of the mark's purview?
Anywhere you go, the mark applies. It's just a question of what you can get away with.
How do the marks... Are they...
So, I mean, if he gets caught somewhere, he can present the mark, and then it's up to local authorities to be like bandit or mercenary. One of them is execution, the other is prison and possibly an exchange.
Okay.
You're not in a position to be negotiating letters of marque. You'll get the crossbow and no arrows, and then we'll see from there. First, we need information.
What else do we need out of this guy?
I mean, why were they suddenly set up at this checkpoint right now today? Like,
we're here to protect the valley, okay?
Protect the valley from who?
There's a dark and sinister creature. The Skinwalker.
What's a Skinwalker?
Oh.
Kaz, are you serious?
It's a horrible monster. It showed up in front of us. It turned into my grandmother and then said vile, horrifying things. It turned into some loved one from everyone. Said things. Secrets no one should ever hear from another person.
Mortrick?
What kind of bandits patrol a checkpoint and tax travelers are actually, in fact, hunting a demon?
Look, mate. Some of us need to make a little extra coin from time to time. And you seem like you had enough money that maybe you could drop some off without too much of a wherewithal.
Yeah,
I don't know who would start killing people over 10 silver pieces. You'd have to be an insane madman.
Well, you could have made 10 silver. Look at what you made me do.
What I made you do?
Yeah. You
put me to sleep.
On yourself. I have zero sympathy for your position right now.
You should have accepted our terms.
I was in the process of doing that. You started using magic and weird stuff, and then you were murdering people left and right. Don't tell me I did. I just watched you stab a bound man to death. Don't tell me about what's right. We came here. Yes, we need to make some extra money because our employer was dead. Everyone we knew was dead. The unit was retreating. And that would be a very technically positive term for what we were doing. There was 3 of us left out of a unit of almost 24. Working for this druid has been a fucking horrible disaster, mate.
Yeah, that was not a good call on your part.
We're working for the druid?
Yeah.
The druid was chasing this changeling?
No. The Skinwalker was working for the druid as well.
You know what the Skinwalker's job was?
Yeah. Going into town and dragging people back. Occasionally it took its little crazy half-dwarves with it, but most of the time it did it itself.
This is getting a little complicated for Kaz at this point. This is beyond him a little bit.
Look, they needed an inside man in the town in order to identify targets and bring people back. I don't know how the Skinwalker did it, but they did it good. They managed to convince every single person to go with them.
So now your long-term plan here is to just prey on this little stretch of road.
Short term, couple of days. If it came along, we would kill it. If not, we'd make a little bit of extra money and head up the road. Pyre's Water's a good place to disappear. There's a nice little thieves guild there, a nice little adventuring guild as well. Hop on a ship and you're gone.
You know? Could you offer us an introduction?
What's it worth to you?
It's worth me untying you and letting you walk away.
You've already agreed to that. I want my bolts, and I want my letter of marque. And I want my money. And I'll introduce you to the head of the local Thieves Guild. If you're going to Pyre's Water, there's only 2 reasons. You want a ship, or you're heading to the Badlands. Either way, you're going to need the Thieves Guild to clear the way for you.
I'll toss the bag of coin I took from them up and down, and I say, deal.
Yeah. I will also ask, why are you still hunting the Skinwalker if the druid was dead?
Look, mate, let me tell you something. I don't have any sympathy for that town, but that thing needs to be dead.
Kaz is reflecting on the conversation with the Skinwalker and getting increasingly concerned. What do you think, fellas? I mean, can we really just leave? I mean, they did reject us.
So he's like turned around and he's got his bound hands and he's like waving them towards Runa, like, untie me then. We got a deal.
That wasn't part of the deal.
We haven't decided yet, friend.
I decided for us.
Maybe we could convince. I whispered to the group. Maybe we can convince him to help us fight the Skinwalker.
No, that's not happening. I'm not fighting with you people. Look, our deal is you untie me, you take me with you to Pyre's Water, you give me back my stuff, and I'll get you an introduction.
Sounds good.
I think we can agree on that.
Then
and I'll cut the ropes binding it.
He starts heading over towards his crossbow, just making sure no one's about to murder him.
You never said when we would give it back to you.
That's fine.
Stay away from that until we get to Bywater.
We're still 3 days travel.
Once you take us safely there, introduce us, then you can have your items.
Fine.
All right. No, never mind. I throw him some food out of our stored pack because we have all that food.
Oh yeah, he fucking consumes it with great alacrity.
Yeah.
So, do you want to say anything about these guys before we head on?
Do we want to say some prayers over these fellas?
No, I'm gonna ask him if he wants to say anything about his friends.
Oh really?
Okay, good. They were assholes. You made the right call on this one.
So Kaz is gonna drag the bodies into behind the rocks a little bit, so they're just off the road.
Okay. So maybe it's a little less obvious. I mean, there's blood everywhere. You stabbed a guy in the heart,
and whole thing up.
I take a branch and I wipe the ground.
That's not going to happen.
No.
No.
I think that would work. I've seen that in an anime, maybe.
Oh yeah, was it in Berserk? That shit.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna leave this Skinwalker behind, fellas.
Well, he went to a different town. Did we know what town he was going to?
He's heading south.
South?
He's heading in the opposite direction of our quest.
Yeah, we're going north.
It's unfortunate. Kaz is sort of whipping himself for not being more observant prior.
Yeah.
The one thing I share with this idiot is I don't have any sympathy for that town.
There's even some people there, even if they're sort of jerks. I mean, Haltrick is from the town. How do you feel about us leaving the town? Isn't your family from there?
So he's like, most of my family's moved away.
Oh, that's good. Where? To the south? I hope.
Well, other directions.
Okay.
This is kind of worrying to me. I feel like if we come across anybody in our journey, we should send a letter back. Especially, we should send a letter to Tiana, letting her know that she's in for some trouble in the near future.
It's a shame our prior letter didn't convey the entire extent of our knowledge. All right. So I guess we move on, Felix?
Yep, I think we move forward. It's in our best interest to move forward. We can't save everyone in every town.
That is true. But then I'm going to look to the bayonet and be like, but we absolutely can and will if we need to murder the shit out of everyone who crosses us. So keep that in mind.
All right. So we start on our journey.
Okay. You are 3 days away from Pyreswater.
Yeah.
On the second day in the morning, as you're passing in between forests, you come across a man who steps out from behind a rock. It's not clear how long he's been there. You didn't see him when you were approaching. He wears a large hat, kind of like mine, and deeply gray robes covered with black stains. And he goes, "Hello there, hello. I didn't see you all there."
Yeah.
Wow, we didn't see you either. That is a great trick. Do you use that at parties a lot?
No, I'm just looking around. Look, my master, how do I say this? Something escaped from our tower. So just be on the lookout for anything unnatural.
Something escaped.
I feel like maybe
what?
Just a little bit more of a hint of like how unnatural, maybe?
Do you know what a minotaur is?
Never seen one.
But you know what it is.
Yeah, they're not good, Kaz. They're not good.
So.
Okay, well imagine a minotaur skeleton that was moving under its own mobility.
That sounds interesting. Why is it
A Skeletor?
area?
Yeah, it's like a Skeletor. I mean, do you really ask why when your teacher says,
Not really? I'm just
let's
like,
reanimate a corpse?
Helpful hints on how to maybe solve that problem.
Well, I'm just kind of looking for it, and then I'll summon my master, who will do something. But I just feel like you should be forewarned.
How does one summon your master? Because if we all know how to do that.
Do you know the message spell?
I do not.
Then you will not be able to do that. Since you haven't met my master, you also won't be able to do that.
Well, then I suppose you're just gonna come with us because I don't want to run into the
No, no. I feel like I can cover more ground. Plus, you look kind of shady.
Well, we're on our way through to what's the name of this town we're going to, guys?
Pyreswater.
Pyreswater.
Bilgewater? I forget. But hey, we've got to go through this stretch of woods. You've got to go through this stretch of woods.
I'm just kind of wandering around and.
Right, but now you can wander with purpose.
Your clothes are covered in blood?
Find your minotaur, then
I'm just gonna walk away.
And you've made a little for yourself. And
he starts walking away.
3 silver.
So he's moving perpendicular to the woods. Like he's moving away from the road, he's moving deeper into the woods, away from you. Like the more he's looking at you guys, he's seeing like he doesn't know what an Earth Ganassi is. He does know what a Deep Gnome is. He's seeing a lot of blood all over the place. Kazador's armor and hammer is covered in it. Mortrick is covered in it. There's like a rough, tough mercenary dude in the back of the cart. Like nothing about this screams anything less than bandit company. You are not shining brave heroes here. You're kind of suspicious.
I think we might need to take a bath.
Might need a rebrand.
I look homeless.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't Earth Ganassi always covered in dirt? Like, kind of vaguely?
Wow.
Wow.
Kazador, you are really racist.
Come on, man.
That was
accidentally racist.
Why you gotta be like this? You're like stealing everything about my bit.
Hey, I was looking up a bit about Earth Ganassi, and they're sort of always covered in, because like all the Ganassi are covered in their element in some fashion. So Earth Ganassi,
You know, like I hate to speak for Runa, but I feel like you owe her a cut of your share. After you know what, you owe Rik-Jaxx a cut of your next share too. I mean, honestly. Your behavior is reprehensible.
You guys gonna start a swear jar?
I think we are 1 silver every time he says a racist statement.
You've traveled with her and you've medicined her enough to know that she has her skin is harder in some areas and it looks like rocks. The skin pigmentation is vaguely reminiscent of that kind of color, but no, she does not always have dirt all over her.
Okay, I mean, look, that's what I said. Heard online, yeah.
Yeah, exactly what you said.
Yeah, so you heard it from your racist friend. Suddenly it's true.
Your racist friend Wikipedia.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're not looking like heroes.
No.
But you, sir, are a necromancer. Is that what I just heard you say?
He's like, no, I'm not a necromancer. He's walking away, but shouting over his shoulder, no necromancers here! No necromancers at all.
Hey, Rik-Jaxx, you think you can keep an eye on that guy?
Yeah, maybe trail him.
Yeah. See what he does, where he goes.
Well, we're going in the other direction, so I don't think we should be trailing him.
Yeah, I think
So
I can
he's-
hang back.
He's heading, like right. You guys are heading down a path. He's heading away from the path.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So firstly, I think Rik-Jaxx, and you guys can let me know what you want to do. I can scout forward or hang back and make sure no one comes up behind us.
I'm going to turn to the bandit guy with this. Be like, you ever fought a skeleton minotaur before?
Nope.
All right, so this is going to be a new experience for everyone involved.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going. No, I think it's fine, Rik-Jaxx. I think just hang with us for now.
So we're 1 day away from Apple Valley, and there's also a necromancer tower. Okay.
I thought we were 2 days away. Are we 2 days away from...
We're 2 days away from Pyre's.
You're oof, that's my Steam list. You're the rest of this day and 1 more day away.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. We might be able to find something in this. If this truly is a necromancer's tower, I mean, I don't think anyone would bat an eye if we took a look at their tower and see what was going on
They
inside.
probably have some nice stuff in there. We could make some money. Because
They also wouldn't bat an eye if we died there.
It's true.
Also, yes.
Runa, what do you think we should do?
I think I've almost died more than once recently. We should continue.
Okay.
Have you ever thought that maybe we're like building up an immunity to death? Like we've come so close to the edge so many times that our bodies are naturally going to be able to repel death.
That's not a thing that happens. If that was true, none of my friends would have died.
To engage them in this philosophical discussion as we travel the rest of the day.
The bandit, who you still haven't asked the name of, will disagree with you vehemently.
And we're like, come on, man. You don't even think, like, not even a little bit, maybe?
No. So, what is the disposition of this wagon convoy? Let's talk about who's where and doing what.
I'm ready to end the wagon now.
I'm also riding in the wagon.
I'm walking alongside.
I'll be walking alongside and behind. Yeah, I'll walk behind. I'm always going to follow the tail end unless I say otherwise.
Okay, so, sorry, who's at the front?
The 2 people riding in the wagon.
Al
Right? They're driving
Okay.
I'll be sitting up with Hal.
All right, I need you to make a perception check real quick.
Sweet, because I can let that algorithm roll ones better than anyone.
I mean, look, you've been doing bad so far, but eventually you should do better.
Perception.
You would think.
Nope, it's another natural 1.
Okay.
How many used that today already?
3.
Enough for this to be embarrassingly bad.
That's 4 for me. And 2 of them I rolled on the same roll.
So I'm going to need you guys to set up inside that red box on the map in whatever formation you feel is necessary, except Mortrick has to be at the front because he's at the front of the wagon.
Get out of my spot, Kaz.
Are we walking left to right?
Spot, Kaz.
You are heading right.
Okay, there we go.
So, I have really bad news for you, Mortrick. From behind a fallen tree up ahead, something begins to form. It's like a pile of bones is pulling itself together, and by the time you notice it, like half the bones have formed, and the other half the bones are floating behind it and forming as it's running towards you. You are leaping like up and pulling your epee out, and by that time, this horrific monster that looks like a half-fleshed minotaur, half-skeleton, is on top of you and is using charge, which is its special ability. It has a bone great axe formed from one of its horns that has been sharpened into a blade and brings it down over its head on top of you as part of its surprise attack.
Mortrick's beard.
20, I think is going to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
All right. So it hits. It deals 2d8 plus 4 plus 2d8. I need you to make a strength save.
Spank.
Jiminy.
Yeah, you're going to take a lot of damage. You'll probably actually be knocked out from this. 23 points of damage.
Yup. Actually,
How many hit points do you have?
13.
You just barely avoid being instantly killed.
Yeah. 3 points away from dead.
Yeah,
So-
you were almost cut in half.
Mortrick doesn't just go down. This guy hits Mortrick with his remaining horn. In the process, shoves him off the horn and throws him off the back of the wagon, landing at Rik-Jaxx's feet in a bloody heap. His epee is still left in the front seat of the wagon next to Hal, who is now right in front of this creature. He is in bad shape. The mercenary is shrieking and going, "The boats! Give me the boats, dumbass!" He's screaming at Mortrick's corpse that has the bolts.
No, Kaz took the bolts.
I took the bolts.
Oh, then he's screaming at Mortrick because he thinks that's who has it. Let's roll initiative.
Some bolts back.
Well,
to...
we'll do it on your turn. We'll do it on your
okay.
turn.
I'm just saying that's
It would be wise to
roll initiative.
roll initiative and also give some bolts over.
Where's my face? I can't click my face to roll initiative.
Your face is right there. It's on the left.
Another 6. That is the 7th 6 I've rolled today.
Hey,
I see.
Rik-Jaxx. High five.
That's a lot of ones today.
Wow. Yeah, there's some good rolls here, and there's some bad rolls.
Yep, and then there's me.
Kazador, Rik-Jaxx, you guys can decide who wants to go first here. It's bad. This thing has showed up out of nowhere. It's enormous. It's probably the biggest skeleton you've ever seen mobily walking. And it appears to have been enhanced with this. Yep. Like, it clearly didn't make this bone great hammer axe itself. Someone created it for this creature and has unleashed it.
By Morgan's beard.
Yeah. So before we start acting, is that guy gone? The fellow we were talking about? Has he disappeared?
The wizard. That was like hours ago.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm gonna stabilize Mortrick.
Wait, so you're gonna go first then?
Make a medicine check.
Yeah, because you're the attacker. If we're gonna fight this guy, you should fight, and I'll try to stabilize Mortrick first. Okay.
Do you have a medicine kit or anything like that?
No additional medicine kit, so it's 50-50 here.
All right. That's not good enough.
One.
So,
remember our conversation about maybe we should start rolling live dice?
I want you to roll D100 real quick. You reach your hand into your bag, you're going for bandages, you're going for whatever. Your fingers bump up against that green vial.
Why not? Why
75 or higher, it's going to go badly.
Okay, so it's /R or R/?
/R.
R.
/R. 1d100, and then plus 25, right?
No. Just
No.
I'm kidding.
you don't need a plus 25. Okay. All right.
Okay, 24.
Your fingers briefly close around it. You pull it out. You look at it. You're thinking potion, but then you're like, no, shit. This is the plague vial. It's not. Don't put that in Mortrick wounds. That will be very bad.
I'm considering it, but no.
Kazador, things are going from bad to worse.
Yeah.
Rik-Jaxx appears to be contemplating poisoning Mortrick or maybe giving him CPR. Not really sure.
I'm gonna reach into my pack and grab some bolts and cast them at the bandit.
Okay.
And he's already got his crossbow. Is he untied?
Yes. He's been untied ever since Mortrick cut the ties.
All right. Okay, and then he's going to charge into the Minotaur, I guess. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So he's going to go here.
All right. You leap up to where Mortrick was. You step on his epee in the process.
Like, as in,
You're not going to break it.
My foot.
You're not going to break it. But yeah, you know it's there. You kick it with your foot a little
I
bit.
push Hal aside. Hal, get away from the cart. And like,
Gasp out. Don't hurt my sword.
You know, I shake him a little bit because he's probably like frozen, and you know, I try and get him to run away.
Okay.
Am I standing on the cart, or am I standing? Like, am I standing here, and am I standing on the cart?
Do you want to stand on the cart, or do you want to stand on the ground?
No, I'll stand on the ground. I mean, that's
Okay.
fine.
You leap forward and you thump onto the front pretty hard.
All right. And yeah, take my warhammer and cleave into this Minotaur.
Okay.
All right. And you know, I think, well, we'll see.
Is there not the death saving throw?
That'll start on your turn.
Let's start on your turn.
21 will definitely hit. This thing is not difficult to hit. It's not wearing any armor. Its hide isn't super tough. You slam in heavily, and it deals extra damage. Your weapon is especially effective against this kind of skeletal opponent.
Right.
So you will actually deal 14 points of damage.
Whoa. Okay.
This Minotaur is not happy. You just hit it for a significant amount of damage.
Can I interject?
Yep.
Okay. So Kaz takes a second breath and he goes for another strike.
You are using action search?
That's right, sir.
Very well. You have a whole extra attack.
All right.
Go ahead. Show me the power of your rolls.
Nice. Come on, man.
Yeah. Again, you hit it for 12 points of damage.
Nice.
You keep slamming away at this creature. It is getting ready to strike, and you're just like, ah! Second slam, it knocks him back a little bit. He gets 3 little stars that go over his head for a moment. He's stuck in animation lock. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All
that's
right.
all I can do.
He
right?
breaks out of the animation lock and starts the wind-up. Brings his massive great axe down upon Kaz. Kaz, there's no real dodging for you in this. You just have to trust in all that plate armor. Oh, fuck. The weapon hits Kaz dead on the head. For a moment, it looks like Kaz is going to be in trouble. And then you start seeing a splinter down the length of the bone. Bone was not designed to be used in like a super thin shaft with a huge fucking horn at the end that has been molded into it. One more misstep like this, and this axe is going to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Let him hit you again.
Mortrick, I'm gonna need that death saving throw from you.
Come on, Mortrick.
This is no, that's good. You have 1 of 3 successes. I was gonna say this is not the time to roll a 1. The mercenary bandit is going to load up his crossbow, and he spends his full turn doing that. He catches the bolts, he starts loading them. He like puts the crossbow on the back of the wagon. He like looks at Mortrick. You get the feeling for a moment he's like, maybe I should help heal him up, and then he's like, no, fuck that dude. Hal jumps off of the wagon and ducks underneath a backswing from the axe and starts rolling into the forest. He's like doing the Dark Souls roll the whole time. He's just like, okay, I'm good, and then he's like, oh, like 3 rolls in, he has to stop. He's out of range of the Minotaur, immediate focus, right? But he's just like, oh, I'm too old for this. That's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to roll. Oh, he like starts stretching and limping away.
Get behind the tree, Hal.
I don't think I got put in the initiative order.
Oh my goodness, you didn't. Where are you at?
Before Mortrick.
Before Mortrick. Runa. Let's get you in there.
Yeah, at the 8.
Let's have you go.
Yeah, I'll go there. So I'm just gonna run and jump off the cart and like Superman punch this guy in the face.
Interesting.
What is mine?
With his bludgeoning fists.
The fists actually are bludgeoning.
Yeah, fantastic.
Start unarmed strike +4.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you know how to set up macros in Roll20?
I haven't actually put my character sheet on. So
That's okay. If you upper right hand corner, beside the cogwheel, there's a triple line that says macros. It'll say add there. Click add. I sent you a macro that will force an initiative roll as long as you have a token selected.
Okay.
So you'll be able to just click that, put in your initiative modifier. It'll ask you what your initiative modifier is, and then it'll add you to there. So you don't even need to use your character sheet.
Okay.
A 22 to hit is going to be totally successful. You're not looking at very difficult. You slam into this thing. There's a echo of reverberation when you hit this thing with your fists.
Yeah.
You are unusually effective against this kind of creature with your strong striking power.
1d4 +2. I'll take it. 1d4 plus 4 damage.
So let me see here.
That's 8, right?
That is. Would you like to use Flurry of Blows?
I was thinking about it.
So you can use it immediately after taking an attack action.
Come on, go for it.
So it's 2 more attacks.
Let's do it.
What does Flurry of Blows look like for you? How has your style improved that you get 3 times as many attacks in the same amount of time?
They're more just like quick jabs for boxing.
So that's been your revelation, right? You're no longer going for like huge sweeping moves. Now you're just like...
Cool. Efficiency.
Show me the power of those rules. No. You go to hit it and you hit one of the meaty fleshy parts. And there's like a weird... Oh, it's so disgusting. Right? You like hit it in its intestines. The second one will hit for sure. You pull the fist out, you go back again, you hit it in its jaw.
Another
12 points of damage. This thing is reeling back. It's still huge and steady, but it seems concerned if an undead ever really could. Rik-Jaxx, what's the plan?
My plan is to try once again to stabilize.
Very well. Show me the power of your dice. You just need a 10.
I think, I think I need to work on wisdom next. All right, here it comes.
That's good enough.
Got a 10.
Mortrick. You know, you were feeling a kind of warmth coming from your center area, and like your limbs were cold. But now your middle area is feeling cold and your limbs are feeling warm. You think it's good? It's also super wet around your middle section. Kind of like you've been stabbed by like a horn-shaped object. Kazador. You hear Mortrick go, and some like success noises from Rik-Jaxx.
Great work.
I want to know what a Rik-Jaxx success noise is.
Huh. Yeah. Huh.
He's fine.
That's even better than I could have imagined.
All right, Kazador, do your magic.
Excited. I'm gonna take another swing. All right.
Yeah. Yes. Another hit.
Another 12 points.
Man, how many hit points does this thing have?
Probably a lot.
More than that.
That's a lot, but the fucking bludgeoning damage is wearing it down fast. That fucking damage vulnerability is not great. Anything else, Kazador?
Well, I guess I don't know all my bonus actions. What can I do? Maybe.
That's a great question.
If there's anything relevant that you think,
You've already done your
my second
action
action.
surge, so I think all you have left is second wind, but you haven't lost any HP, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I can't like try and trip it or anything like that. That's
You took great weapon fighting?
No, we changed it to. I mean, unless that's.
No. What did you end up taking?
I'll do Tunnel Fighter. I could do that, but I don't think he's really going to maneuver around me. I guess
I don't see that under fighting style. Oh, was that from one of the extra books?
It's a level 1 thing, yeah.
I can link you in a sec.
It's a homegrown style.
I mean, it should have been from like a UA, right?
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
I can-
UA.
Yeah, it's from one of the Arcanas. Yeah. That's fine. I'm just
It's
looking at the
nice.
player's handbook. Look, we'll talk later about getting everything on D&D Beyond.
It's there on
I used to poo-poo about D&D Beyond, but now I'm like, D&D Beyond. That's a
It's
damn
all
fine
right,
pig. You know?
Same.
Okay, yeah, you're in Tunnel Fighter stance. This thing doesn't give a shit about your Tunnel Fighter stance. It lifts its axe over its head again and brings it down with a two-handed overhead chop, aiming for your skull.
Right.
Your skull that's defended by a sheet of metal.
Yeah! Boy, how's your
It
algorithm
comes
now?
down, the whole spine of the X shatters. The head goes rolling off in the distance. The creature's like looking down at its hands, where the bony fingers now clutch nothingness, and it tilts its head back. There's no mouth on this thing, right? Like, there's no lungs or anything like that, but it shrieks a deep, minotaurish bellow, like an angry cow. Runa.
Connor, are you feeling pretty much invincible right now?
Absolutely. I'm
You're like
reconsidering
Superman.
my name after this. This is like as exciting as it gets for
Basically gonna
Cass.
come up behind it and punch it again.
I guess all you need is one punch. That's it. Runa always wins. No, that's not good enough. You-
Use flurry of blows again.
You punch it in its butt and it sinks into the like meaty flesh there. You can feel it moving dead muscle around.
So
That's
I get
disgusting.
one more in.
Vital life energy flows through you as you begin using more ki. So you quick jab number 1, you get nothing. Number 2, right on the spine of the creature. That's a successful hit.
Nice. Another
You
10.
reach into the creature's back and rip its spine out. The front half of its body falls out onto Cass. There's like a torso with some ribs and like weird, disgusting, decaying flesh, and the head of the creature. And then the legs just remain standing until the whole butt falls back. And you're holding on to like 6 foot of spine that you've ripped out of its body.
All right.
A
dinner's on
second
its way.
later, the mercenary fires and it sails right through where the head of the creature would have been. He looks kind of embarrassed.
Well, we appreciate your efforts there, sir. What's your name?
You've been with me this whole time. You didn't even know my name.
Yeah, but now we've fought together in the shield wall, and now I want to know your name.
Okay. The name's Cal.
Cal and Al.
All right.
Fine,
Cal,
we'll
thank
use
you.
my full name, okay? I'm kind of embarrassed. It's Culloden.
Alana?
Culloden.
Aladdin.
You can
All
see
right.
why people would rather use Cal, right?
Yeah, Cal it is.
Okay.
Well, that was weird.
We got lucky, friends.
I'm gonna walk over and with my bloody hands, take whatever bolts he has left on him away from him.
He's like, no, I need these. What if there's another one of these things?
Then we'll give them.
Oh, sorry.
back.
He's like, I need these. No. That guy went down because he wasn't having someone watch out. You
I say
need me
we-
riding crossbow at the front.
Yeah, I say we let him have his crossbow and his bolt and 5 bolts.
5 bolts. Oh, well, that's actually quite a few bolts.
Just know that if anything happens, and I'll like twist my fingers into fists.
You guys are really, really bad at intimidating people. You know that, right? Like
I mean, I can roll
the
for
dead
it.
guy. He kicks Mortrick's chin. The dead guy's better at intimidating people than the rest of you. Also, the little one.
Little one.
The littlest one.
That would be me.
Did you
remember?
just roll an 8 to intimidate him? He's just like, you're just proving my point here, kid. It's nothing personal. You're just not that scary. I kind of get this thing that you like very soft-hearted, you know. This one, and he kicks Mortrick in the face again. This one's a fucking monster. He might be the worst thing I've ever faced, and we just killed a giant skeletal minotaur. And I'm still more afraid of this guy than that.
Mortrick is the actual end game.
Look, I've had players in campaigns before have been like, I would like to be the final boss. I would like to go up against the rest of the players, and every time I've been like, no. But this time I might be like, yes. He's made no attempt to hide that he might actually secretly be evil. As you exit the forest on the night of the 3rd day and make your way down to Pyreswater, you all need to collectively figure out who's using what rations and food. You have a 6-person party. Neither Hal nor Culloden have any food on them. So between the 6 of you, you require 18 days worth of rations.
I thought we had a lot from the town.
Oh, that's true. I guess you could just eat all that food. All right. Everyone's perfectly fine. You have a lot of apples and bread and cheese. 100%. You're
All I
great.
need.
There's no problem at all. Forgot about that.
All right, Apple Valley pulling through.
You make it into Pyreswater, and as you do, above Pyreswater, some shadowy letters appear and say, "The Journey Arc, genre crime." This is for the viewers at home. This is not for you guys. You guys don't see it. We see it on our television screens at home. Because every arc has its own genre.
All right.
We're past horror. I don't know that the horror went down very well. It was mostly dog killing and comedy.
It was horrible.
As you travel out of the forest across the short plains towards the kind of misty coast of Pyreswater and the accompanying short stone wall around it, we move to break because it's
All right.
halftime. And when we get back, it's crime time.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half. Who will Mortrick kill? Who will Runa fail to intimidate? What will Rik-Jaxx? I mean, I feel like Rik-Jaxx just kind of... Rik-Jaxx is like the team gopher. Always patching the holes. Always patching the holes. Kazador could just stand there now. I feel like Kazador's job is to just stand places.
Look intimidating. Take axes to the head.
Yeah, it's the axe to the head thing that I think really sells your character for me.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take a new name, like Axe Splitter. I gotta think about it.
Ooh, I like
I
that
like
one.
Axe Splitter.
First. Yeah.
Kazador Hornbreaker.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Mortrick dying.
It's better than Runa Butt Puncher.
What the shit? I guess it is at that.